what's up everybody? It is Thursday, May 14th, 2020, which means we are ready for TNT today. So, when I was there the other day, if you were looking at our last episode, we were doing the lasagna noodle, and that was interesting. It failed. It was on video and everything. It was kind of funny. But while I was there the other day, I found a mostaccioli noodle. Alright, so, if you kind of followed last October, we were doing red vines. It's going to follow the same sort of format, but this one obviously is much shorter. The revolutions we have on this is going to be a little bit different. Then the number of tabs that we have for the profile is going to be a little bit different. So today, we're going to do mostaccioli. Alright, it's a family favorite. Let's go for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to start a 2D sketch. I'm going to pick on a plane, does not matter. I'm going to come out here, go to circle, and I'm going to go ahead with a diameter of 0.375, just like so. I'm now going to go here to the top of this, starting at the top, and I'm going to say that this is like a diameter of 0.06. We're going to sort of make these tabs. And then if you take a look, if I'm counting on mine, looks like it's there's like 12 of them. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to circular pattern. I'm going to go ahead and pick on the circle, go to the red arrow, hit the center point, and I'm going to tell Inventor I want 12 of these. Alright, but before I get out of here, I'm going to go ahead and hit the double chevrons. I'm going to uncheck where it says associative. Now I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And for the rest of this, I'm going to go ahead and just draw a circle. And I don't know. We're just going to call this one, I don't know, maybe like 0.34 or something. We'll just keep it somewhat thin-walled. Alright, so now that we have that, I'm going to go out here and go to trim. And we were talking about this on our last episode. If you just pick, hold, and drag, you can actually trim with Inventor. This is actually behaving like an old feature in AutoCAD called fence. And instead of just picking multiple times, you can actually just pick and hold and drag right over the top of the geometry, and it's going to clean it up as you drag over the top of it. Alright, so that's going to do a really good job with that. Alright, so make sure you keep that in mind. That's just a way to go out there and save some time, being a lot more efficient with the software. Alright, so we have everything that we basically need for that, and then obviously these we can go ahead and toss those out. Alright, when you're looking at the noodle itself, you can see that there's actually some sort of rounded areas in between these tabs. And instead of going out there and building that into the profile, we're actually going to come here at the end, and I'm going to use fillet and just save us some time, and then come back and hit it up with circular pattern just to do it all in one shot. So that's sort of done. I'm going to go ahead and finish the sketch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the origin folder. I'm going to come out here and turn on an axis. So the axis is going to go directly through it. So think about a string of Cheerios. We want the axis to be like the string in the middle of the Cheerios. I'm going to go ahead and turn on this axis, turn the visibility on, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here, go to coil. I'm going to come in here first, pick the profile. I'm going to come to my red arrow for the axis, and then go ahead and pick on the actual axis itself. I'm going to come here to my coil size. I'm going to switch this over to revolution and height, and the height on this needs to be like 1.25, and the revolution, I was sort of looking at it, it didn't even quite twist halfway in that 1 1/4 inch span. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be like 40% revolution, or 0.4. I'm going to go ahead and say OK, and we should see that mostaccioli noodle sort of go out there, and it's going to be created with coil, which is kind of fun and cool when you see it sort of happen for the first time. Alright, so as I said before, in between these tabs, these are sort of rounded over in the actual noodle. Alright, so I'm going to come out here and go to fillet. I'm going to go ahead and pick on this edge, and I'm also going to come over and flip this down and see if we can't grab this edge as well. But the thing is, I'm going to go ahead and back this way down for a radius of like 0.06. So it's going to sort of round that out. Actually, I might bring that down to 0.03. Let's take a look at it. It's going to round that a little bit more. That looks a lot better to me. I'm going to go ahead and just say OK. So we can see that one has been done, but there's still 11 more that need to go. So what we can do is go here to circular pattern. I can now come in here and find that fillet. I'm going to go to my red arrow for my rotation axis. I'm going to go ahead and pick on the axis, and I'm going to say, hey, I want 12 of those within the 360 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And what we should see here in a second after it gets done pinwheeling is that that is now going to apply to every single groove that makes up that mostaccioli. Alright, so there you go. Alright, so more pasta with Inventor. Something cool from the cupboard to go out there and sort of play with. Some great features there using Inventor, but there you go. That is it for today's TNT Today. I'll talk to you soon.